Hey guys, I have another supernatural experience I would like to share. Okay, this one, I was about 13 and we lived in a pretty large house. It was like a tri-level house. It had a basement and then a sunken den, and then the kitchen and living room, dining room was on another level, and then the bedrooms were upstairs. And down in the basement, there part of the basement was like the garage storage area. My mom kept the washer and dryer down there, and there was a workshop down there that my dad had his tools in. And then the other section was set up like a little apartment. And okay, I had some kittens and I kept them in a box in the basement area, the side that has the washer and dryer. And the other side, um, my grandmother came to live with us and she stayed down there for a while, but prior to that, it was set up like had a little table and chairs down there and a bed, one or two beds in the bedroom area, and then there was like a walk-in closet next to the wall that connected to the stairway that went up to the house. And at the top of the stairs was like the attic storage area, and it had a sliding door that you could slide and push things in there. That was the storage attic area. So okay, I had kittens in the basement and I was about 12, 13, something like that. And I would go downstairs to feed them and sit and play with them. And um, I started having experiences where I noticed odd things. Um, and I really didn't talk about it. And I can't really remember why. The one time I did talk about it, I know why I didn't speak about it after, and I'll explain that. While I'm in the basement, I'm sitting there playing with the kittens, and I heard a noise. So I kind of peeked out the door, and there's like a little hallway between the door going into the garage where the kittens were and that other dining room, bedroom area. There was like a little hallway there. Okay, so I heard this noise, and I opened the door and I looked, and the other door had been kept closed and it was cracked open. I'm like, how'd that door get open? So I pushed it closed and went back in to play with the kittens, and I heard a noise again. So I got up and looked, and the door was open a little bit further. And this happened about 4 or 5 times. And each time the door was open just a little bit further. And the very last time it happened, the door was opened all the way. And it kind of freaked me out. So I pushed it. Each time I closed it, you know the little thing that goes into the little hole that holds the door closed? Each time I would push it until I heard it click where that thing went in the little hole. And then it would come open again. So I'm like trying to figure out, how is this door opening up? And is somebody doing this? And so from the area where the wash and dryer is, there was a vent up in the ceiling, which was a floor to the kitchen, and it wasn't connected to anything, like air conditioning or anything like that. It was just a vent up there. And I would call up to see if my mom was in the kitchen, um, or if somebody was up there, that I could find out if somebody came downstairs and maybe open that door. And my mom was up there, and I said, is anybody downstairs? And she said, no, just you. And I said, okay. So after the very last time, it freaked me out. So I closed the door, and I decided just to, I played with the cats enough. I was going to go upstairs. So after I closed that door, I come around that corner to the bottom of the stairs before going upstairs, and I looked up, and there's a woman ghost at the top of the stairs. And it freaked me out. She had like garments on, like a dress and apron kind of thing, like from the kind of like the pioneer days, like long time ago. And it had like ruffles around here and around the neck, and her hair was up in a bun, and it kind of freaked me out. Okay, here's another explanation about that wall that connected to the other room. There was at the end of the banister coming down, which was right next to the wall, at the bottom of that banister in the wall, there was like a hole, and there was a light switch there, so you could reach in or out of that hole to turn that light switch on, and it was for the light in the stairway. So, every time I went past that hole, I saw what looked like an evil face in that hole, and it gave me creeps. So, a lot of times I wouldn't even look at that hole when I was going up the stairs, and sometimes I would jump to the steps up above that hole so I didn't even have to see the hole. So, because it creeped me out. So, anyway, when I saw this lady, it freaked me out, and it's like, oh, I got goosebumps. It automatically gave me like an indication of that hole for some reason, and so I jumped up the step. No, I'd step. No, wait. I had gone up one step when I saw her, and I didn't know what to do, and she came down the steps and went right through me. It freaked me out. And when she did that, I had like goosebumps, and then I realized about the hole, and then I jumped up above that hole so I could go up the steps, and I ran, and when I got to the top of the steps, I turned around and looked because I didn't know she was still down there. She was standing at the bottom of the steps, and she pointed up like for me to go, like go out. I don't know why. It freaked me out. So I closed the door real quick at the top of the stairs, and I ran into the den area, and I sat on the couch, and I was just like rocking back and forth, and I was like kind of shaking, and my mom either came in the room or was sitting in the room. She said, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I just saw a ghost, and she went through me." I said, it's a woman, a ghost. My mom was like, "Calm down." She said, "It's probably just your guardian angel." Well, that I knew that it was not my guardian angel, because I never met my guardian angel, never seen my guardian angel, but that was not a guardian angel because I had weird feelings about it. If it was your guardian angel, you would feel peace. So anyway, I just kind of shrugged that off. My mom didn't console me in any way. She said that just to keep me peaceful and not stressing about it or whatever. She didn't want to go through it. I found out many years later why. So anyway, that incident happened. The thing with the face in the wall, there was some kind of evil entity, I believe, in that house, because I would see that face in a vent in my bedroom, and my bedroom was above where that attic space was. That vent, when I would look, that vent was below a window that went out onto a flat top of the roof over the den. And once in a while, I'd climb out there and sit on the roof. But sometimes before I did that, I happened to look down and I would see this face in that vent. And so it freaked me out. In the same house, there was a little girl ghost. The woman, which I don't know if it's the same woman that was in the basement or if that was a different one. And there was a man, and the man had coveralls on with a red checkered shirt. It was like red and white checkered shirt, and he looked to me like a farmer. And the little girl was always, when I saw her, was in the bedroom area upstairs. Um, I saw the woman upstairs um either go into my mom's bedroom or come out of it. But I saw her one time upstairs, and I don't know if it's the same woman that I saw in the basement. And then the man, this would always freak me out. There were times that I would go to sleep, and I would wake up, I saw him standing beside my bed looking down at me, and just standing there, not saying anything, not doing anything, just standing there. And it freaked me out. I would put the covers over my head. And I told my mom about it a couple of times. I saw the little girl one time. I was in the den, and I saw her peek around the corner from the stairs upstairs. And I said, "Hey," and then she turned and ran. So I ran upstairs, and I saw her go into the bathroom, and I went in the bathroom, and there was nobody there. Another time I was in my bedroom with the door open, and I saw her come on the other side of the hallway. I saw her come out of my sister's bedroom and go into the bathroom, and I went, and there was nobody there. Another time I was in my bedroom, and when you're going up the stairs on the left hand side, around that corner from the top of the stairs, there was a real deep closet in there. There was some shelves, but my mom kept linens and towels and things like that in there. And she had a box that had something in it, like some linens or something. And I saw that little girl, the door was open, and I saw that little girl bent over a box like she was looking for something. And I said, "Hey!" And she turned and ran into the bedroom, or into my sister's room. And I went and looked, and there was nobody in there. There was some other kind of creature or something. I don't even remember what it looked like. But I remember one time our power went off, and my dad was in the military, and he was already gone to Germany, and we had shipped a lot of our furniture and stored a lot of furniture, and this was, I think, the last couple of days before we had to leave to go to Germany. And the power went out, and we were sleeping together on the floor on pallets in front of the fireplace so we could have heat. And there was some noises, and there was nobody else in the house but us. So I didn't say anything until like the next day, because it was nighttime and it was freaking me out. So I asked my mom about it the next day, and she said, "Oh, it was probably nothing, da da da," because I think she always did that to kind of keep like the peace, and so that we didn't get scared or whatever, because we're, kids. So anyway, found out later my mom had heard some things too, and she did not want that to cause us any fear or whatever. So another incident that happened in that same house was, we had all gone to church one Sunday, and all the windows, we always locked up the windows and the doors and whatever. So when we came home, there was a big wide gate going into the backyard. It was standing open. the back door, the screen was closed, but the back door was open. And we always kept those doors closed. My mom was like, Johnny, I think somebody's in the house. And we had gone into the den, and all the windows in there were the rollout windows that were long, skinny, and they would roll out like that. So they would open like that. So all of those windows were open. So we had gone in to the entrance to the den when we saw that. And my mom was like, Johnny, I think somebody might be in the house. So she said, girls, let's go back outside. So we went outside, and we're waiting for my dad to go through the house to check it and make sure there was nobody in there. He come back and he said, there's nobody in here. And so we closed all the windows and, of course, shut the door. We didn't even know why it was like that until we found out later after we had come back from Germany. So, trying to think if there were other experiences that I knew about or that I saw years later, which was probably about maybe 10 or 15 years ago. We were sitting around at my aunt's table, all sitting in a circle around the table talking about different things. And had I had so many experiences in that house that I started talking about that house. And I said, it always, confused me about this. And I brought it up. My mom said, well, there was a lot of stuff that went on in that house. And I didn't even know she had experiences in that house because she never talked about it. So I said, what are you talking about? And she said, oh, there were times that she was sitting in her chair, which was right beside the little steps going up to, there was 2 steps that went up to the level that had the kitchen and dining room, whatever, in that level. Her chair was right by those steps. She's no windows open, no fans blowing, nothing. She's reading her Bible. And all of a sudden, the pages start flipping. And she's like, she didn't say anything to anybody because she didn't want to freak anybody out. She couldn't figure out why that was doing that. But she thinks it was like some spiritual thing, a spiritual being or something causing that. Negative. Oh, we would hear noises in the basement, like banging noises in the little shop area where my dad's tools and stuff were. It's like banging noises. And my dad had gone down there several times and checked, and nobody was there, and we couldn't ever figure out what was causing that noise. So we were talking about all of these different experiences that happened. Everybody in our family had experiences, and I didn't even know anybody else had experiences. But that house definitely was haunted. My mom told us that the lady that bought it after her was a female pastor. And my mom had gone back to that house because she had left a painting on the wall at the base of the stairs that she wanted to see if she could get back, that she had forgot it. And the lady said, yeah, it's still down there. She said, if you want to go get it, you're welcome to, but I locked up and bolted that door because I don't go down there anymore. And my mom was like, really? And she's like, yeah, you can open it and you can go down there and get it if you want to. And she was like, okay. So she went down, got the picture, whatever, painting, came back, locked it back up. And my mom asked her why she had done that. And she said, well, there's entities coming in. And she said, I blessed it and prayed over this basement. She said, but I believe there's some kind of portal and there's spirits and entities coming in and I can't get rid of them. She said, I've prayed and prayed and prayed and I can't get rid of them. So my mom had no clue. But one of the times my mom was in the basement with a prayer group sitting around that table, and they were going to read the Bible and pray and stuff. And one of the people that was there asked my mom, I mean, today I think this is kind of funny, but it's not when you're, I guess, when you're experiencing it. They asked my mom, they said, "Who are all these other people here?" And my mom said, "What other people?" She said, "All these people standing around the room." And my mom was like, "There's not any people standing around the room." And that lady was like, "I see people all the way around this room." So after that, they kind of stopped having the prayer group down there. Come to find out later, my mom didn't know at the time, but later when she saw that preacher lady to get that painting, and she told her that there was some kind of portal down there, that there's spirits coming and going from that portal all the time, and she prayed over it and blessed it and couldn't get rid of them. And she even had other pastors come in and pray over that area. And nothing ever happened. So anyway, that was a lot of the stories about that house and that it was haunted. We found out from the lady that sold us the house. My mom found out. After we got back, my mom contacted her to find out, what is the deal with that house? Did you know that that house was haunted? And she said, yeah. She said, well, why didn't you tell us? She said, would you have bought the house? Makes sense. She said, I mean, I think they're supposed to, let you know, that there's activity in a house or whatever, but, she didn't, and we didn't know about it. And she said, well, yeah, there's something that was going on with that house. And supposedly, she said, I think, the father used a chainsaw on the mom and the little girl, and then did himself in. So, if that's true or not, I don't know. I was going to write a book about that whole situation and what happened to me. And I went to the courthouse trying to find documentation, could never find anything about, that unaliving. Couldn't find anything. And I even went back to try to find ownership of the property and whatnot for years and years and years prior. And could never really find anything. And I thought maybe it was from like the pioneer days when there wasn't anything here, and it was maybe just a homestead or something, and something happened on that property, not necessarily in that house, that it could have been on the property and that they were attached or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's the story of the haunted house I lived in. So anyway, I'll give another story another time. I believe that I have a connection with heaven to where it allows me to be open, to see and hear, experience things beyond the veil, whether it's good or bad. And I've seen both. So I just believe that my spirit is in a good place to where that stuff now doesn't really scare me. It doesn't scare me because I know God has me covered. And if you don't know Jesus, I ask you to pray and ask him into your heart. God will be with you if you see or experience things like this, and there's no need to fear any of it. The veil is thinner now, so more and more people will be seeing and experiencing things from beyond the veil. So, my prayer for you, is that you will get to know Jesus so that he can protect you and keep you safe. Thank you. Have a great day, and I will share more when I have a few minutes. Okay, bye.